Welcome to a little tomfoolery, Rob Little and Tommy Ryman. A podcast filled with laughs and gasps, guffaws and haws, and maybe a picture of a dog. A little tomfoolery, a little tomfoolery, a little tomfoolery. A little tomfoolery, a little tomfoolery, a little tomfoolery. Fools!
Good morning, good day, and good evening. Welcome to a little tomfoolery with our most colorful episode yet. Good morning. I'm Rob Little. I am now joined with my bestie, Tommy Ryman. Happy to join you guys today. How are you, Tommy?
Good. It's good. I'm glad to be here. Just got back into town yesterday, and I'm leaving again today. So
Well, that's a great lead-in.
Go.
Where are you going this week?
I'm heading all through Wisconsin tonight. I'll be in Holman, Wisconsin. Then I have a day off, and then I'm going up past Eau Claire. If you go to TommyRyman.com, it's a bunch of different towns in Wisconsin. I'm hitting different events. One's called the Enchanted Barn. That should be amazing. Ooh. Better be enchanted.
Yeah.
But it should be fun. Another comedian that's opening for me, Courtney Baca, is coming along. She's super funny. So
Courtney Baca.
Should be fun.
Awesome.
What about you?
This is the Mary Mac tour, right?
Yeah, she's actually doing it later after I am. So
okay. So you're gonna go tear it up, and then Mary's gonna come in and try to follow you, which will be tough.
Yep. And they'll be like, that's just like Tommy with longer hair, because people are like, you're just like Mary Mac, but a boy.
Does she have long hair now?
Yeah.
Oh, last time I saw her, she had real short hair. This week I am at the Funny Bone in Des Moines, and I found out I'm working with our good buddy Bill Blank.
Nice. Funny Bone, always a good time. And that's only a Friday, Saturday, or is this a full longer?
Friday, one show, 2 shows Saturday.
Very cool.
Yep. So that's man. So let's go, because you, I think, had a pretty fun week. I'd like to hear about it. You just got back from LA, both of our old stomping grounds.
Yeah, I was in Hollywood doing shows. It was great. I got in on Wednesday. I was staying at the Roosevelt Hotel, which is a super cool hotel right in Hollywood Boulevard over by the Magic Castle, kind of right in the middle of it. So, and my view is like right onto Hollywood Boulevard, onto the Man's Chinese Theater. So yeah, it was just fun. And I got to see friends during the day. I did shows every night. My shows were great. I did this guy, Mike Perkins, a comedian formerly from New Jersey, does his own little talk show. So I was on another talk show with Mike Perkins in North Hollywood, which was a lot of fun. I might post some clips of that because you do stand up and then a little interview, but he had a bunch of fun guests. And then I was in the West Side Comedy in Santa Monica, which was a really fun show, and Flappers in Burbank, which was a good show. And a lot of guys from Comedy Magic had started coming up to Flappers when Comedy Magic closed. So I got to see like Don McMillan and had some other guys that I hadn't seen for a long time.
Awesome. But they probably weren't coming up. They probably lived there. We all traveled to Comedy Magic.
True. Yeah. I was the only weirdo that lived in Redondo Beach,
which was awesome.
Yeah. And then but speaking of Comedy Magic, on the Saturday there's a new comedy club in Bellflower, California. So it's been around for a year, but Richard from Comedy Magic was helping book the shows there. And it was such a fun club. It's just called the Stand-Up Comedy Club. And it's this husband and wife that own it. John, I'm forgetting what his wife's name, but they couldn't have been. I mean, it felt like Comedy Magic, where they greet you. You sit in the green room. They're like, you want to order off our menu? And it was a smaller room, maybe a little over 150 capacity or maybe 200, but they packed it in, and the crowd was super fun. You do a little 15-minute spot. There's only six comics on it, I think, total, and they were all great. Some from the Comedy Magic, and Richard was hanging out, so it was good to see him. And then he did say he is having a meeting about Comedy Magic, so it sounds like that may come back, but I don't really know any details.
Was the show ran like a Comedy Magic Club where y'all just did the same amount of time, or?
I mean, it wasn't like the 10 for 10, like, because there wasn't a host. It was kind of like one of the midweek show, but it was just like the host did 10 or 15. Then they brought up a comic that was kind of auditioning, I think, for Richards, because they only did 7. And then the rest of us did 15-minute spots. There was, but I think there was 6 of us total.
Did you close it?
No, I was right in the middle. I was like third. It was a really good spot.
That's
Yeah,
exactly
the
where
crowd
you want to
was-
be.
yeah. I followed the girl that did her audition or whatever. So, and she was fun. But I
Yeah.
had a bunch of new stuff. I could see Richard off on the side laughing. So that was good to see.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's a really cool club. I'm hoping to go back there. And I don't think they're competing really with Long Beach. I mean, Bellflower, they're getting a lot of locals and everything is so spread out in LA. So you don't, it seems like there's a comedy club right there, but I think they'll be, hopefully, I wish them success.
Okay, so it's
I'm
near
saying.
Long Beach. Okay.
Well, I think Long Beach is the next town, is kind of the town over or whatever onto the ocean, because Bellflower's inland. This is probably very exciting for our listeners.
When I did those shows, when it was at the Comedy Magic, I always seemed to have to follow Daniel Tosh. Seems like almost every time. And he would do okay. It wasn't like would it be impossible to follow him, but his intros always sucked. Like he purposely tried to screw you on the intro. So he would, like, when he had introduced me, he'd be like, okay, this next guy coming to the stage, what he lacks in material, he makes up for in energy or something like that.
That's a great introduction.
It was all horrible. He was basically saying
it's
you have no act, but you got energy. Something like that. And I was just like, you jerk. It was every time. He'd love to do it too. So,
and then did you come bouncing out like,
yeah, of course. I had
energy. It's so much energy.
Yeah, I think one time I came out with 0 energy and just totally stared and just to
that's funny.
Just to see, make him look. I don't know. I know.
Yeah,
I tried a couple different.
He used to come a lot. I never got to. We got to see him do his regular show because that was one of Megan's favorite comics. So I took him to. He was working on his new hour, but I think he moved further away. I think he used to live near Hermosa and then moved out to Malibu. So he's
been in Malibu for a while now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man. So all those shows went pretty good then.
Yeah, everything was a blast, and it was good. Got to see my friend's new baby and stuff like that.
Awesome.
So. And what did you do this last week?
I did a community. I did one community like just south of Tampa. And I thought it was going to be a nightmare because most of those 55 and up ones.
Right.
They're everywhere down here. And if you don't get in that market, it's like you're missing out on money, right? And so I went and did this one, and it was a lady that had seen me from Michigan. So there was a bunch of Michigan people at this one. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, this is going to be fun.
Nice.
Tommy, when I came off stage, I would have swore I did maybe an hour. What do you think I did?
I don't know, an hour and a half?
2 hours, not even close. I was like, I come off and not one person was complaining. Like I thought, we're past their bedtime by now, but they all stayed and like played games after.
Wow, that's great.
So it was one of the funnest ones I've ever done in Florida. And then the next night I did this VFW hall that I've done before, and they like booked a band in their other room at the same time as me.
Oh, so the sound was pretty terrible.
The sound was horrible. But the crowd was still really fun, and it went way better than the first time I was there. So that's all I can ask for. And it was an easy weekend, man. Easy.
Yeah, just in town.
Few grand, yeah. So yeah. So then we went to the casino after the one on Friday, and I won like another $3,500
on blackjack.
No, on slots.
Oh, cool! Wow.
Yeah. So it was a really good weekend, really.
How much do you have to put in to make $3,500 on a slot machine?
It wasn't much when I hit 3 jackpots. So they were all like 1,200 or more.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was pretty cool.
So you're a millionaire now.
Well, it was a total millionaire. Yeah.
You did a VFW and 3 jackpots. So you're set for life. You got to buy you some sleeves. Oh, man.
That's why I said this is the most colorful show we've ever done. I mean, look at this. If you're not watching on YouTube, you're missing out.
Yeah, we're some handsome men right now.
Oh, yes. Last week I went fishing. Did we talk about that?
Yeah, you talked about you went fishing and then saw the tournament.
Oh,
But-
right. Okay.
But
So
then I
then-
saw you went fishing recently off your dock too. You
Yeah.
caught something.
I caught a big old, like almost, I would say it's close to 4 pounds. And that's big in where my canal is. So, but they're starting to bed. So they're really starting to come out now. And then I put a few more things up on my dock and some more of those lures and stuff. And it's looking really cool.
That's so
So
awesome.
all
I
the
can't believe
neighbor
it.
guys.
I still haven't seen it. I want to go down.
I know it. And I put the fish feeder up and I finally got to test it this morning because it goes off at 7 and 4 for 8 seconds. Well, I filled it. You're supposed to put like dog food in it.
Mm-hmm.
Dry dog food, by the way, not wet. And when it spits it out, dude, it's so powerful that it was backfiring at me and like it would sting when it hit you.
Ugh.
So, because this will shoot it 100 feet if you set it up to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I just shot it up like 10 to 15 feet. But I have to put a new bat, it's got this like backsplash. I got to put one on there because it has one, but it's too small and it's just
Right.
flying right over it. So
Sorry. Megan's mom is coming over. I didn't think this would be such a.
Is that her dog or your dog's?
That's Harvey is in here to be quiet,
Oh.
but now he's losing his mind. Harvey, come here.
He's
Harvey.
excited.
Harvey, come here. Go lay down. Lay down. Get in your bed. You're fine. Lay down. Here we go. Settled.
So I'm going fishing again tomorrow with that guy again because it's weird what a week will make a difference. Once the fish start bedding, they're like guarding their little nest, and then they go nuts and they'll bite anything that comes by it.
Crazy. That's
Yeah.
cool though.
It should be fun. I hope. So yeah. What else is going on with you guys, you and Megan? I haven't heard about Megan in a long time. She all right?
I don't know. I've been on the road. She lives here.
She lives here.
We got this exciting news. Our dog of the week.
It is the dog of the week.
This week is Minnie because she turned 1
Oh,
today. So
yay.
here is Minnie in a party hat.
Ah,
Megan
wow, she's
designed
getting big.
that.
What do you have any idea what she weighs now?
I think it's like 500 pounds or something. She just keeps growing.
Her head's like a horse, man. That
yeah.
thing's huge.
It's massive. She's like a big, giant, moving weighted blanket.
Can we
but it's
see
her birthday?
Do you have a picture of her next to anything to give us like a idea of what she?
No, these little polka dots. Just look at the polka dots and you'll see. No, I
Oh.
don't have her any pictures of size comparison now. But we'll get her weighed in soon.
Okay.
But yeah, the album is coming along.
Can we
It's just like-
announce what it is, or do you want to wait till it's like up on iTunes?
I'm gonna wait till I got an official date, and then
Okay.
I'll announce it on the
Okay.
podcast, or we'll do a secret episode for the Patreon members and reveal
Oh, good
the,
idea.
the album announcement there first.
Speaking
and
of
we'll
that,
know
we
the
should
date.
probably maybe reintroduce what the Patreon does and stuff for us.
Yeah, I don't know if people know the full thing, but we would love you to become Patreon members. You can join as little as $1. It's a monthly fee, but it just helps us with our production and because Rob's got to edit this. We got to buy supplies. We got to get guests. But we have posters. We're going to get t-shirts. We have little tiers. So if you join at different levels, you can get shout out on the podcast. You could be on the podcast. Like there's a lot of cool features. So you should check out if you go to tomfoolery.com, it has a link to our Patreon and that goes through all those things. But we would absolutely love it if you've been listening and you're enjoying, and you can do it for a while and then leave, it's not like you're committed forever, but it's a thing we would really appreciate. And we're kind of pushing. Now we sound like an NPR a-thon, but the more of you that join, then the less we'll bug you about it. So.
Plus, we'd really like to get these t-shirts, and they're not cheap. So we want to get them so that we can, get them out to the fans and stuff and just show support. We're in a Fool Nation, which is what we call ourselves.
Yeah.
And you can be a part of it
But yeah, and if we get enough people too, then we could do like an exclusive Patreon show for just you guys, a free show. Like there's really cool things in the future. The more people that join that we could be able to do. I swear it's not just spent on Legos and fishing gear. You need to understand that all it goes toward back into the podcast, literally everything we have. So, and if you are a Patreon member now, thank you. And thank you for your continued support. We love you. You are the Fool Nation.
This just in.
Bringing you the foolish of the fools from his home office in Minnesota. It's Fool News with Tommy Ryman.
New Jersey teen was caught dumping murder victim in Pennsylvania, and he was caught because he left his hazard lights on. So I like that he was being safe, but they saw a car with hazard lights, so they pulled over to be like, well, we better help this guy out. And they're like, "Ooh, we're gonna have to take him in because he is disposing of a body." So
wow,
yeah. So put his hazards out. The troopers approached the Subaru and found.
What's crazy about that is it had to have been his first body tossing because he would have learned the hazard. You don't put those on, right? You turn the lights completely off. And then
I just don't feel like this guy was,
plus was he parked in a very heavily trafficked area? Because you got to find places that are a little less traffic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to see why you moved to Leesburg, Florida. This is kind of scary, Rob. You're like,
on the lake.
Yep, I've been feeding those fish. You got to use dog food. Like, what are you?
You got to dry it out.
Oh my gosh, Rob. Where's Cass?
Oh my God. She's I don't know.
So that he is a definite fool. That is, and congrats to that trooper that first off would just stop if he saw hazard lights, because some troopers are like, they'll be fine, right. And he was like, I better check this out. Oh, that was the other thing in LA. I saw a guy got arrested right next to me. I was walking to brunch. I turn on Santa Monica Boulevard, and this kind of van is next to me, and then 5 squad cars just instantly come behind it. And they're shouting out of their speaker. They're like, shut the car off, roll down the windows. And then he was like, it's an old van. I can only roll down this one window. And this big guy in like a big white guy in a Wu-Tang t-shirt got out. But they were like, it was scary because it's so many people all at once. And they're shouting instructions at him. And they were like, walk backwards. So he's doing that. And then they go, pull your shirt up. And if somebody told you to pull your shirt up, what would you do? If I was like, pull your shirt up, right? You'd think you'd go from the stomach, but they go, so he's got his hands behind his back, and then they go, pull your shirt up, and he goes down. They go, no, from your collar.
From your
they
neck.
Want him to pull. And I go, well, nobody pulls it.
Nobody would.
Plus so I was like, the police need to come up with a better, because I've seen that happen on videos. That's like
really
multiple times where like, show your. And plus, this guy was a big guy. I was like, I don't think he's got room to be fitting a lot of weapons around that waistband there, buddy.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was just weird because I was like in the crowd when it first happened. Like, there's literally cops aiming their guns towards me.
I know, that's all I can think of.
I was like, gee, what is? And then there was a girl like instantly filming it. It was wild. And then
all I can picture is you getting out of your car. They're like, not you, and you're looking at that other guy like they're talking to you.
Yeah. I'm just taking off my shirt. I get naked. Like, I got no weapon. Oh, man.
No weapon.
They're like, that looks like a deadly weapon. I'm like, no.
Oh, where Tommy can go blue, but anytime I do.
I meant my nose.
Yeah, you gotta take your shirt off to see your nose in LA, Tommy. All right. What ended up happening? They just like arrested him right there and took off?
Took him off. He was laying like right. He literally like they saw everything. So I'm sure.
So they left his van there?
Oh, this guy. Yeah. Well, I'm sure the van got towed but they literally got him in. And then I think half the squad cars left because there were so many to deal with the one guy. But I walked away once they got him.
They probably saw you and thought, is that the guy? Call in reinforcements.
Yeah, I Kaiser Soze it though. I like changed outfits real quick and went into a building and yeah.
You got some more fool news?
mean, this one's just kind of funny, but it says police find loaded gun in a man's buttocks
Oh
during
my
a strip
God.
search. I don't, that's, he's a fool. That's
We've all
really
done that.
incredibly dangerous.
Oh my.
But yeah, those are the fool news. I know this is a family podcast. We're talking about a lot of crime stuff,
we're just
but we want to
reporting.
keep people safe. If you see someone with your hazard lights, maybe don't just stop to help them, because they may also be like, you got a flat tire, like, and now you got to be extra careful, even who you're helping.
Right, because they might have a gun.
Yeah, and if they're like, "Oh, help me move this couch," make sure it's shaped like a couch and not a body. Just be like, you don't want to become an accessory.
Right.
Because Rob, I feel like that would happen to Rob. Like, oh yeah, let me help me out, buddy. Okay, what are we doing? We're moving. Oh, this is heavy. Oh, why is it? Oh boy.
Why is it moaning? Well, from Fool News, it is time.
And now,
Fools in History. These are fools living up to their full potential.
Was that the new tag?
Yes, wasn't it adorable?
Wow. That's great.
This week in history, the Different Strokes robber, 1991. Do you remember Dana Plato?
No.
She was Kimberly Drummond on the TV show Different Strokes.
Okay.
She got into a lot of trouble, but she got hooked on drugs, and it's kind of how she passed. She OD'd. But before that, she robbed a video store with a pellet gun, and she only got $164. Now you would think, okay, she got away, right? No, she returned to the scene 15 minutes later and approached the officers like asking, like, oh, there was a robbery, what happened? And the clerk goes, hey, that's her right there. She's the one who robbed us. And then they arrested her, and she got 5 years probation, and she got hooked, and then she got hooked on some other drugs after that. But how stupid. She I guess she was wearing all black, but he could see her face, and he knew it was the girl from Different Strokes.
Yeah, if you're gonna return to the scene of the crime, I'm assuming it's you should have put a mask on, and then you take that off, kind of like what Batman does, or just don't come back. You don't need to come back to where you committed a crime, unless you did need to rent a video, because now you got all that money. You probably get a good chunk of videos and candy and popcorn. Just gives it all back.
That's probably what she was doing. They didn't say that. For $164, you could get like 10 VHS, I would think.
How weird would it be for the guy that's like, what? Oh, nope, she's right there. Okay.
That's what they basically explained how it happened. She just kind of walked up and started asking the officers questions, and the guy just looked over and goes, wait, that's her.
Wow.
But that happens a lot in crimes. They always say that, they now have like somebody come and videotape the crowd, because a lot of times whoever committed the crime likes to stand and kind of watch what happens, especially with arsonists. This happens a lot.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard arsonists want to come and watch their fire.
Yeah.
And then they're standing there like, it's like, oh, it's the guy, evil looking guy, like with his fingers together.
And he's got burn marks for some reason.
Yeah, the one holding the gas
can. I was just going to say that. Oh, that was silly. She was definitely a fool. We'll go on to the next one. The next one, do you know, and I think you will, but not maybe by this name. Do you know Vernon Wayne Howell?
Is that Ernest?
No, but that's a good guess.
I just know he talked to Vern. Hey, Vern.
Yeah, right.
But
it's David Koresh.
Oh, okay.
From the Waco thing?
Yeah. So that's his real name is David Vern?
No, his real name is Vernon Wayne.
Vernon Wayne, sorry.
Yeah. I didn't really know a lot I just remember when it happened, there was all the fire and everything, but he basically told people that he had the 7 seals. Seals related to an apocalyptic vision of the book of Revelation. In the book, a scroll was held by God in his right hand, and it was marked with the 7 seals. And they said that he was the only person that learned how to decipher it. He was the Lamb of God, and he unlocked it. How desperate and lonely are these people for friends? Like I would love to be able to just make up some things and then have like 100 people, and I'm your Lord all of a sudden, and you gotta do what I say, and they're all like, all the women were his wives and all this stuff. And
it feels like it's a type of person though that gets sucked into those cults, because there's every other year you hear stories about these different, like the Nexium one, the girl from Smallville, that was like the newest cult guy.
I haven't heard it.
Guy got arrested. Yeah, there's a whole documentary on that. But even I don't know, and like religion in general, I mean, there's people just want, I think they look for somebody to talk to them, but I don't I can't. Yeah, it's weird that you and I have never.
I've never been approached by one. I would,
Yeah, but I'm sure if there was some Lego guy that was like, "Hey, by the way, you get a free set, and then we got to battle these people actually," but I'd be like, "Okay, well, I don't know." So,
yeah.
But I mean, if you're trying to find something in your life, and then this person tells you what you want to hear, I guess.
I know. I was trying to think of like what would do it for me, but even if they said like all these things I loved, I just don't think I would be like, yeah, let's move to that compound and talk about it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Do you find it's more women that want to do it, and then the guys just follow because they're their husbands, and then they gotta agree to this guy like, oh, I'm gonna take your wife as my concubine now, and the guys are always like, okay.
Because on the documentary I've seen, it's like it's just men and women. I think it's a type of person that can have their just can be more manipulated. Is that the right word? Yeah, brainwashed.
Yeah.
But because I mean, even like Trump type people, that like the really Trumpy people, like it's just like they're men and women, and they're both bonkers. But I don't,
I feel like we kind of started our own little with Fool Nation. Now we just got to get people to follow us.
You can't tell people though that it's a cult, Rob. That's the rule.
Oh. But we're making cult to be cool.
We got to be like,
cool
yeah,
cult.
That guy was crazy. Hey, by the way, the Fool Nation, though, we're all about not that.
Right. Right. This one, I'm not sure. I think the people who named this are the fools. Okay, I've heard about the California Gold Rush, right? And that happened in the 1800s. Do you know why they called them the 49ers?
I feel like we've talked about this before.
I don't remember.
I can't remember it. Why?
Because the gold rush was in 1849.
That makes sense.
And the following year, 300,000 people came, and they were known as the 49ers. That is the dumbest reason ever. I thought it was something to do with the land or something, like that the people, the techniques they use were 49th techniques.
I thought they were all just football players. I thought that's where the original 49ers, they found the most gold, and they're like, and by the way, we're really good at football.
Right. I just think it's ridiculous that it was just named after the year.
I guess.
So if it had been the 52ers.
I think 49 is just it's cool sounding. I'm sure they would have called them something different if it didn't. They wouldn't have called them the 52ers. That sounds terrible. 49ers does sound neat. For some reason, that number is just, when you add ER to it, that's pretty rad. Like 69ers, they definitely would have kept that. They would have definitely called them 59ers, 49, any Niners. Yes. I think they would have kept the name. So depending on when it happened. Now, if you did a gold rush, so you're say you're living in Nebraska or up Michigan, and then all of a sudden they're like, there's gold in them hills. Would you get out there? And do you think you would have been the guy, like getting your little like pie tin or whatever, or would you go get some dynamite? Be like, I got ideas for it, because I'd get nervous for you that you might hurt yourself.
Yeah, there's no doubt I would do it, no doubt, and I would probably hurt myself, because I would I'd be like, this is hard panning. I'm just gonna get some dynamite, and then just like stand under it, hoping that the gold would land in front of me.
Nice. Sorry, Megan did something and I didn't know what she was doing, so that's why I was distracted. But what's happening? You're interrupting. But what's going on?
My mom got Minnie and Harvey dog treats shaped like carrot cake.
Oh, Rob, but
I heard her.
Megan's mom got dog treats shaped like carrot cake.
Oh, do you got one?
Wow.
We can see
Rob
it.
would so accidentally eat this.
Oh my God, I would eat that in a heartbeat.
You be careful now that you know these exist.
Yeah.
Also, if you're listening, please send Rob dog treat carrot cake.
I wouldn't even think twice. I would have ate that like as soon as I saw it. And then I would have like a nice shiny coat. I would look
like, man, Rob's energy is so up. Hey, we need this dog
my
treat carrot cake.
sense of smell is amazing. Yeah.
There's
Wow.
Megan though. She's alive.
Yay, Megan. All right. She already leave?
Yeah, she's already.
Oh, okay. So yeah. Okay. So the gold rush. And it's also hard work. And I feel like I am like that. I just did that in my yard this week. But then they showed all these guys that like as soon as you found gold, there was guys trying to steal it from you or shoot you or all this other stuff. So it's like, can you keep a secret once you find it? And I don't think I'm very good at secrets.
Right. See,
Like
I
if-
hope what?
Like if you were there, I'd be like, Tommy, I found something. Come over here.
Yeah, you would.
Tommy'd be like,
There's
you
no
did?
way you- Is it gold? I bet it's gold. I would want to start a business around it. So you don't get the actual gold, but like I would be like one of like it's a comedy club, the Fooleries, like that. So then you're getting their money. Then you're giving them something to spend their money on for the people that got the gold. So I think those people were pretty smart too. But a lot of those people like owned all the buildings, owned the land that people were trying to buy. Like there were some bigger.
Well, the people that made watched the whole documentary on this. Did you know who made the most money were the ladies of the night?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Because those guys would be in camp all the time. And yeah, this is a 100% fool. And the fools are, I hate to say it, Native Americans. Columbus used the lunar eclipse to frighten Indians. So he would say, I'm going to make the moon go out.
Oh, knowing about it.
And he knew it was gonna. And he would get the Indians to bring his crew like a bunch of supplies and everything once he started to do it. And then he's like, well, I'll bring it back then. And then it came back and they're like freaking out. Like he's some sorcerer.
That's crazy that sounds like a villain. I mean, it sounds like something made up.
Yeah.
Like this evil guy, but somebody actually do that. That's sad.
I know it. But I mean, what we know now, but back then they were probably
did it. It would be like a party trick. Like if I could like time travel, like, oh dude, this is gonna be cool. I'm gonna tell him it's gone and bring it back. And then, but I guess that would be terrifying if you didn't know and you're like, where did it go? The sun's gone.
Yeah. I'm with you on that, man. That would have been more fun to just say, watch this, watch what I can do.
Yeah.
We'll do it right now. No, I gotta wait a couple minutes. Hold on.
yeah. I can't do it. That's like my sister used to tell me she could freeze time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then
How did she do it?
She would just say it happened. And I met, because when I wouldn't see it, you could just say, yeah, I can freeze time for a while. I'm like, did you just do it now? Like, how long did you freeze it for?
It'd be funny if she just kind of like paused and stood there and you're kind of moving still. And then she comes back out and she goes, there it was. And then you're like, well, but I could move. And I'm like, yeah, I put you in that zone.
Yeah. Oh, see, that would have been a smarter way for her to freeze. And then
now I want to do that to somebody. Okay. So, and then I'm going to do this one last one. This killer, this happened in 1989, by the way. It wasn't even that long ago. He was spared the electric chair, but when he went to the bathroom, he sat on a steel toilet. And as he was doing that, he was fixing earphones for a TV that was plugged in, and it electrocuted him.
What are the odds?
Yeah.
Man.
Michael Anderson Godwin. And that's karma, man. That was them saying you definitely needed to be electrocuted.
Yeah.
So he spared the electric chair, but got electrocuted by electric toilet.
So I never use never use a steel toilet. I always porcelain.
Yeah. My bidet is like a hard plastic. So you can't get me on there.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah. So that's Fools in History, buddy.
Those are really good.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I hate to say it, but do we even have a stump, Rob, today?
I do have it if you want to do it, but
Yes.
if you
Can I just say how fun last week's was?
this one you're not going to be as fun because it's more of a history one, but it's because I'm working on my Lego Titanic that I thought it would be interesting to do Titanic trivia facts because I always find that a fascinating event.
Plus, I work a boatload of cruise ships.
Cruise ships, right? But they
Yeah.
are multiple choice. I did go through before. I did terrible, so
Did
I
you?
don't know how you'll do. Yeah, they're
Okay.
kind of tricky, but it's just an interesting thing to learn about. So if we
Yeah.
do stump Rob, this is going to be a tough one. But you crushed it so hard last week that I was like,
Right.
well, let's make it a little challenging.
Okay.
So here we go. These are trivia facts about the Titanic,
Okay.
which is just a ship that Leonardo DiCaprio and was on. And I think that's what I know about it, at least.
That's yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready. Question number one, Rob. On what day did the Titanic hit the iceberg? Was it March 18th, 1913, April 12th of 1914, April 14th of 1912, or March 15th of 1950? 15.
So the years were 15, 14, 13, and 12.
Yep.
I'm going to go with 13.
You are incorrect. The answer is 1914.
Ah.
When the
I think I should
sank.
I
I thought it was the 1912 for some reason, but I think it was April 12th, 1914 is why I got mixed
that's
up.
why.
Now, do you know what was the name of the Titanic's captain? Was it John W. Smith, Dwight Q. Edwards, Franklin D. Howard, or Edward J. Smith? All those names sound the same to me.
They
So
do sound the
good
same
luck.
to me too.
Is it John, Dwight, Frank, or Ed?
I'm going to go with John.
It was Edward Smith was the captain of the
That
Titanic.
sounds definitely made up.
Yeah. Then this is a hard question because it goes, what agency did the musicians who played on the Titanic come from?
This is one we should
the
know.
White Talent Agency,
Funny
the Red
Business?
Talent Agency, yeah, Funny Business, Red Talent Agency, Brown Talent Agency, or Black Talent Agency. So white, red, brown, or black talent agency.
I'm going with red.
You are incorrect.
Incorrect.
It was the Black Talent Agency.
I knew it was going to be
that
black, but I felt that was too racial.
there's no race involved, but it's okay.
Do they must say that in the movie, huh?
I just know that I just knew the musicians played till it sank. I never heard that there was an agency that hired them. I didn't know the agency was like, these guys will play till the boat sinks. That's in their contract.
What if we were on that boat and they like said, hey, you got to keep doing the show. That's what we
You
pay.
are contract for 7 shows, Rob. So you're going to do some of these in the middle of the ocean.
And this is a family show. I got it. Can't cuss while you're going down.
Okay. Well, we've gotten
4 wrong already.
3 of them wrong.
Yeah.
You are stumped, I guess. So we're both stumped on this. This is a terrible
these
one.
are
I
pure
apologize.
guessing.
But we're learning. We're learning such great facts.
Are we though? Because I don't.
No, these are such weird, obscure questions too. Okay, number 4. On April 14th, how many warnings of ice did the Titanic receive from other ships? Was it 2? Was it 6? Was it 0? Or was it 10 warnings?
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go because they did get some warnings. I think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with it's either 2 or 6. I'm gonna go with 6.
Nice, you got it right. I went with 10,
sweet.
got it wrong. Finally, you got nice work.
Thanks.
Yeah, the watchmen on the Titanic were told to watch for ice, but they did not have binoculars when they were looking for it. So that's what got them into trouble.
Plus, it's just water, so it'd look the same. I would think.
It's
right?
clear. All right, here's the 5th question. Do you know the name of the ship that came to the rescue of the Titanic? I did get this one right. Was it the Nordman, the Californian, the Carpathia, or Masaba? I don't know.
I think it was the Californian.
No, it was the Carpathia.
The one you couldn't even say, and you got that right.
Carpathia? Well, I just recognized it because it's
Oh.
written out. Is it Carpathia? Is that how you say it?
Yes.
You don't know.
I don't know.
All right, let's give you one bonus question.
Oh,
If you
great.
get this right, you're unstumped. How many decks were on the Titanic? 8, 4, 10, or 6?
10.
Nice. Correct. Rob is not stumped. There were 10 decks
Boom.
on the Titanic.
Love it. And the
That
10th was
was-
the Lido.
Was it?
Yeah.
Nice. Was that where the comedy club is, you mean?
That's where it always is. The top deck's usually always Lido.
Nice. Well, that was another segment of Stump Rob. We that was a tough one, but the Titanic is really interesting. I think where these questions though, they're just so bizarre and deep. I don't.
Yeah. There was nothing fun about them.
Yeah. But
I
there's
think-
nothing really fun about that Titanic when you think about it. It's pretty
Oh,
big
yeah.
boat that sank.
That's true.
Yeah. But good job, Rob. So this
I think
week
we're
you are
good.
headed to Des Moines. Go get tickets for Rob's show at the Funny Bone with Bill Blank. Find me somewhere in Wisconsin all week. And then I'll be in like North Dakota and Wisconsin again next week. I'm in the Midwest. All
Is it pretty
different
cold?
spots. No, it's warming up now. It's been
Oh,
in
good.
the 30s, 40s. Well, sadly, we've come to the end of this podcast. I had a lot of fun, but this has been another episode of A Little Tomfoolery. We want to thank you for listening and downloading, subscribing, wherever you get your podcasts. Please go to our YouTube, subscribe to that, share, and
We're still not at our number, Tommy.
yeah, we just want 1,000 subscribers.
I know it.
There's got you everyone that listens knows at least 1,000 people. So just let them know to subscribe to Little Tomfoolery. We'll blast the link out. I'm going to get better at this social media stuff and start bugging more of you.
That's
And
another reason why we need you to join Patreon so we could hire somebody to do our social media for us.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Please join our Patreon. If you have any questions, any Fool Nation questions, go visit alittletomfoolery.com. Email us at the guys at alittletomfoolery.com. I'm Tommy Ryman. That's Rob Little. Bye, fools.
Fool Nation.
Fool Nation.